I'm going to talk to you about nutrition guidelines for tennis players and other sports. So what's the outline about? Key micronutrients, sport nutrition tennis examples, and type of micronutrients, fruit and bad fruit. Why I'm going to talk to you about tennis examples? Because I have been a tennis player for 16 years, so I like tennis, and well, I used to be coach too, so I feel very passionate to talk about this to you guys. So why is it important to eat healthy? Well, because of many reasons, but I would like to include the car example, because if we add another gas to our car, let's say it's normal gasoline, but we add diesel, it's gonna work bad, and it's going to be deteriorating with the time. Also, it's gonna make you feel, if you don't eat properly, make you feel like inflammation in your stomach. For example, it's going to accelerate the aging process. It will adapt in a worse way your body. You could have diseases, skin effects, energy, etc. And also give us the opportunity to perform well. Carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is the primary energy source. Work in high intensive trainings and work without oxygen. Is the contrary than fat. They are metabolic energy fuel source for nerve cells and red blood cells. So this is the same when we have heard people saying that it's going to feed our brain and make our brain feel happier. But it's the same, but in a technical way, because it's the energy fuel source for nerve cells and red blood cells. It's as fat oxidation, that's very important, so it works by hand with fat, helps to improve training adaptation and reduce time of exhaustion. So it's very good to consume carbs before a match and also after a match. This is nutrient timing, but it works to understand the example. Fat is also known as triacylglycerol. It is another fuel source, energy source, and work as an anti-inflammatory. This is very important, and you could see this in fish oil. Antidepressive and anti-catabolic, because we think about fat as something bad, but it's not if we consume in proper quantities. Fatty acid tissue development. It works as fatty acid tissue development. It's divided into 3 types of fat. For example, monounsaturated, polyunsaturated, and saturated. And later I'm going to talk about how to split that into correct balance. Protein. Our compounds composed of genetically determined sequence of amino acids. Amino acids is the compound that build the muscles, are called the building blocks. Protein promotes growth, repair damaged cells and tissue. This is very important, and that some people don't know about protein. So if we combine protein and carbs after a match, and let's say we have another match after 2 matches, and we finish the first match, and we have to consume carbs and protein in order to repair those damaged cells and tissue, and also recover. Help maintaining metabolism and production of hormones. Fluids. We are 60% water in our body, but this is going to vary. It depends on age, gender, body composition, size, and well, if we have an excess of fluids or water, we are going to be hyperhydrated. So this is not good, because this is an excess of water into our body. Hypohydration, when we don't have enough water within our body, and that's very bad, because it could go to hyponatremia. And euhydration is the state that we have to be on it. It's when we get that osmolarity balance. What means osmolarity is when we have that electrolytes in that correct state. For example, we have enough sodium and potassium, chloride, bicarbonate, and phosphate into our body in a correct balance. Also, sodium leads the balancing process. This is very important because sometimes we just get to the court consuming water, but that's not enough. We need to consume sodium. Energy systems. We have anaerobic lactic, and aerobic. So anaerobic, it works from 2 seconds to 8 seconds. Anaerobic lactic from 10 seconds to 60 seconds. So glycogen provides energy here. When we are in anaerobic lactic, let's imagine a sprinter of 50 or 60 meters, and then the rest. And aerobic, well, it goes from 1 minute to 3 hours, and when we get to that 2 hours, our glycogen source is depleted. Tennis energy system. So what we as a tennis players we use. So we use 65% aerobic of our energy system and 35% of our anaerobic system. So we better to train these 3 energy systems because we use it the 3. Why? Because I'm going to show you the video here where we have to run long distances, short distances. Sometimes the average point is 1 to 6 seconds, but sometimes, as here, sometimes it lasts for 1 minute. So we have to be in good shape. We have to train all the 3 systems at the same time. So watch that, it's amazing. The ride is going to last for 1 minute. Imagine all the energy that they believe away. And they need to recover in 20 seconds. So this is why tennis includes the 3 energy systems, because we don't know when our match is going to finish. Sometimes, well, the average is 1 hour 50 minutes, 1 hour 30 minutes, but sometimes 3 hours and a half. So we have to be prepared for it. Soccer integrates the 3 energy systems too, but because they push each other and they use more strength because they are always in contact, and they do like long distances and with more power. This is why they use this distribution, and also it exists in other variations too. Endurance running, well, this is cyclical sport, so it's all the time almost the same, and at the end maybe the last 600 meters they sprint, but they already depleted everything they got. So they use, for example, if they run a 10K, they should prepare 90% aerobic and 10% anaerobic, and 100% if they just do a marathon. Tennis energy expenditure. This is about the way we have to look as a tennis player or athletes. So this is going to be very unique, and we have to analyze, for example, body proper composition of a tennis player. What the tennis player has to do. So if we have to increase our lean tissue mass or decrease fat mass. So this is going to be, we have to put that in balance, and well, we have to analyze first our sport and the last thing that we saw prior here, the energy systems. So in order for us to answer that question. Fat consideration. Well, fat plays a role to promote heart diseases, insulin resistance, sleep leukemia, certain cancers, osteoarthritis, if it's consumed in excess. But it's very good for our body in terms of energy fuels. This is very important because Kevin Hall is an expert on this, and it says that the population of in the United States is consuming 425 calories more than the average. So this is why some of the people is having heart problems and diseases, because they are consuming more than the average, and more than all is because they are not doing exercise. So they are not working with that balance. And a tennis player don't need to be like that guys are like very strong, or it doesn't mean that we have to be like the people that runs long distances, because we need to be very explosive, and we need to have that strength, and we need to be fast, and we also need to run for long bouts. So we need the 3 energy systems, so we need to be like in the middle. The thermic effect of food, this is very interesting, because this is the same to say that some products are going to make us to spend more calories just by eating it. So, for example, fat, it has the lowest thermic effect rate, but protein has the highest thermic effect. So, if we consume good products, good quality products of protein, we're going to burn more calories. So this is another topic, and I will try to do another video for this, but this is very important and very interesting. And a tennis player will burn more calories than a guy that goes to the gym. This is very interesting, just for you to know. So body composition. This is on one side Rafael Nadal, and the other side Novak Djokovic. As we can see, Rafael Nadal is a beast. He's a very strong guy. Hits it's very powerful. But at the same time, Novak Djokovic is too. So this is like the extremes that we have in tennis. But you can see one is not so skinny or thin, and the other one is not so strong, but it's strong. Key carbohydrate nutrient intake for a tennis player. So we have to consume between 50 to 65% of our entire carbohydrates. We are going to use this when we get to the point when we do a moderate to high intensities of training. And we should try to consume 5 to 10 grams per kilogram of body weight per day. And if you know the amount in pounds, you just divide that into 2.2. Multiply that into 2.2, and you will get pounds. So the carbohydrate needs for a tennis player will be 2 times higher than a normal person. I have here some data in order for you to know for you to ask, and for you to know how much exercise you do and how much carbohydrate you need to eat. So as you can see, if you are very intense, feel the red, you should eat that quantity. But again, that will vary in terms of body composition, and I will try to explain this at the end. Proteins, proper intake, and best protein quality. Well, we should try to consume 0.7 grams and 0.9 grams per pound body weight per day. So this is an example. If I'm weighing 150, I'm 155. Well, I should try to consume 105 or 135 grams of protein per day. So I should split that during the day. We should try to find the best quality of protein, because let's say, okay, for example, whey contains this compound called leucine. Leucine it's going to have the complete amino acids and good absorption in terms of building blocks. So it's going to be good for us in terms of recover, in terms of self-growth, hormone, right? And as you can see, the PER is one of the highest, 3.0, 3.2, and later I will show you the table showing you the rest of the products of protein. We should try to consume animal protein products because it has the majority of the amino acids and all the nutrients. But if we consume from plants, it's gonna lack of some of that amino acids. Fat proper consumption. So, as I said prior at the beginning, well, I recommend you to consume fish oil because this will accelerate the inflammation, will decrease the inflammation process. And if we have a fat diet of 30%, that goes from 20% to 35% average, we should try to consume, if we are consuming 30% of fat diet, we should try to consume 10% each monounsaturated, polysaturated, and saturated. The fat is going to be burned when we exercise of 25% of our VO2 max. So it's going to be low. So if you want to burn fat, try to let's say run for long bouts, 30 minutes and more, and try to do it in low intensity, let's say 50% maximum. Because if you start working 50%, you're going to start depleting carbs or using carbs. And then if you start using 90% of your VO2 max, you're going to deplete just carbs. And the proper intake, 20 to 35%. Vitamins and minerals, well, this is very important because will ease the energy production and the utilization of carbohydrates and proteins and fat. Transport will help you to transport and regulate the fluid balance, protect against oxidative damage, and works for the removal of carbon dioxide from working muscle and recycling lactate to glucose. So try to consume different vitamins because not one vitamin is not gonna have the whole vitamins and minerals that we need to have. So try to consume different ones and the most important ones. Fluids. Fluid balance is crucial to have a normal cardiovascular and thermoregulatory functions. This is very important because it works in order for us to feel less hot. For example, if we are running in a hot weather or playing in a hot weather, hydrating properly, it's gonna work on that, solve that. This is very important. There's people that drinks a lot, as I said prior. There's if you drink more than you need, you will have hyperhydration. But if you drink less than you need, you will be hypohydrated. So this is very important because in average, our body can support just 1 liter per hour. But there's some cases where people sweat too much and they spend, let's say, 3.4 liters per hour. So it's important for you to know that information, for you to prepare better before competition, before match, etc. So let's say if you lose 2% of water or nutrients, electrolytes inside your body, you will be dehydrated and you will start 2%. You will feel like weakest. You will start feeling that power and that strength, and you will lose that coordination. Also, it's not just about to drink water, it's about to drink the electrolytes that I will explain later. And if you are running in higher places, you should consider that you will sweat more and you will spend more of fluids. So you will be prepared for it. Intake products. So I will show you the table here. The products that you can eat, for example, potato, rice, and if you pause the video, you can show with more time and pace what are these products. But I recommend these ones, but there are other ones. I mean, for example, protein intake products. The PRE, this is the quality of the product. So as you can see, the whey is the highest quality product, but there you got not the other products that are good for you too. Fat. So if you consume, let's say if you consume beef in that product, you will earn fat and you will earn protein too. Hydration content and supplementation. For example, as I said, you not only have to consume just water, you need to consume electrolytes that are calcium, magnesium, potassium, chloride, and bicarbonate, and phosphate. So why? Because this will enhance thirst and rehydration and will allow a far better absorption of fluids and retain the fluids on the body. So this is the same as saying that you will retain urine inside your body more time. And it's not when you feel that you want to go to the bathroom because you drank a lot of water, but then you need to interrupt the process, or you need to interrupt the test or the match because of this. And if you start like urine or going to the bathroom a lot or sweating a lot, you will lose that hydration inside your body. So it's good for you to have these electrolytes. Also milk. Milk is a hydration drink. So if you can use milk if you finish a match and then the match was hard, or you have another one next, you can use milk. But after the sport drinks, this is very important and interesting because most of the sport drinks doesn't have enough sodium, so you need to add that sodium extra. And also it's very interesting, you can drink tart cherry juice in order for you to decrease that soreness in your body. But this could be a good strategy in order for you to take that soreness down, and if you need to play another match right away or 1 hour later, so you will recover. But it's not gonna be a good idea to drink every single day or a lot of days, because we need to feel that soreness in order to muscle adaptation. Chocolate milk, we can use it, and powders. Processed food. Well, processed food, the thing is that it's bad. This processed food has negative impact on people, but the thing is, let's say for athletes, sometimes you need to eat something. It's better to eat something than nothing. So processed food has negative impact on people. Is food high in melatonin? What this means? Melatonin is the compound that makes us feel like happier, and the food feels with more taste, is sweeter or whatever, but it's kind of a drug and make us be more addictive to this. And if you wanna watch more about this, I recommend you to watch the YouTube video called Food Inc. And you will see all this kind of processed food, how they made it, and you will see that most of this processed food, the animals live in bad environments, so they have already within their bodies bad bacteria that is not good for us. And well, people is having diseases, heart attacks, diabetes, and other problems. And I said prior, Marcol says that the people is getting all these diseases and all these problems because they consume a lot of processed food. Like, for example, people that work and they just see around of them a lot of fast food, but because they don't have enough time, maybe half an hour, and they didn't prepare their food before, they don't have another alternative to consume good food, so they consume 3 times, 4 times, 5 times per week processed food, and this is very bad. We can consume it 1 time, but not more. And well, another thing is how the trans fat are composed or transformed. The process is called hydrogenation, and it's when the people use gas as a bubble and go through oil at high temperature. So French fries and all that thing fried that we see, we know. And well, what can cause to eat all this food? Well, inflammation, pain, poor health, compromising nervous system, adaptation, diseases, diabetes, hypertension, oxidative stress, increasing debt, also increase the dead weight, non-functional mass, and limit hypertrophy. So I have heard many biased things about people saying that Usain Bolt consume or eat like 8 Big Macs, but that's not true. I mean, if you research properly and correctly, you will learn that this guy tried to avoid 3 months processed food and is going to try to consume whole food and organic food and traditional food from his country, but it's not gonna consume processed food. And well, another example that is very funny is a guy that is one of the strongest guy in the world doing deadlift, and the guy, well, I heard that the guy was fat, but it's not fat. It's very, very strong. It has a belly, but it's a very big guy. And well, of course, the guy doesn't matter if he has some fat, because that's not his primary source. His primary source will be protein and carbs a little bit. So the guy, maybe he prepared himself before the competition and he had extra weight in order for him to lift his dead weight and the extra weight from the deadlift. But then when he got to the competition, he lost that weight, because in order for him to just lift that competition weight. So it's not true when people say that stars or people very good athletes consume processed food all the time. I mean, it's normal for us to consume 1 time, but not more. In conclusion, well, where is the middle point? The middle point is where we can consume 1 time, 1 per week, but not the entire time. Also, in terms of body composition, it's just to know more details about the sports and about the energy systems that we need to have in order to perform. So if we need a little bit more fat, if we need a little bit more of carbohydrate intake or protein intake, so it depends. And in terms of the look, well, tennis players, as we saw, we don't need to be very strong, or we don't need to be very lean. What is bad for athletes and bad for non-athletes? Well, it's gonna be bad for both, but let's say for athletes, if the athlete consume a lot of this garbage food, will not perform well. And also the athlete needs to take care more about the nutrition, because at the time the player is in higher levels, it will need to be very conscious and to consume in optimal or ultimate ways. So it needs to compete in ultimate ways, so it needs to have a very good nutrition and very strict nutrition. But in the other side, people that are no athletes, if they consume more calories, but they didn't burn it, they will gain that weight and they will start having problems like inflammation, and they will have headaches, and like they will start feeling foggy. For example, that's another thing. An athlete needs to take care of, consume eggs with oil, using oil and butter all the time, because it will start, the cholesterol will start getting higher, and if that happens, we will start feeling foggy and tired, you know, and that's not good. And the same will happen to a normal person that is not burning enough calories. So remember this, the balance. So if you consume certain calories, you should try to burn that calories too, right? And another example is, if you have a certain calories goal, you should, let's say 2,900 in my case. If I do exercise, I need to hit the goal, but if I do exercise and I burn 500, I need to recover. I need to recover that 500, because if not, I will have that remaining. So if I burn 500, I should recover those 500. But that will be in terms of my body composition, my intensity of trainings, if I do exercise 6 days per week, 5 or more even though. So yeah, processed food will be bad for both, and try to consume whole food and organic food. This is another topic that is very interesting, and I will try to do another video trying to talk about this. But yeah, try to eat this because it will have more and better nutrients than processed food. And don't consume too many simple sugars, because it's not the same as consuming fruits than consuming a chocolate bar or a candy, because the fruit will have vitamins and it will have better proteins and nutrition and a better sugar too than a simple sugar that will have melatonin and other artificial flavors. And just that. And also try to eat between or along 8 to 10 hours, because it will maintain your circadian rhythm. This is related to your sleep too. Between that lapse, and try to eat 2 to 3 hours, because we'll increase the metabolic rhythm. This is very important, and there are several studies saying this. Every diet should be done according to different factors and personal needs. You can consume the same calories than me, because first, I don't know you. I don't know if you're like me, this body composition. I don't know if your metabolism is slower. I don't know if you do a lot of exercise or you just train 2 times a week. So we need to analyze that first. And if you want to improve that nutrition, try to use tools and try to use to ask for help. I'm here to help you, or try to use applications. For example, my MyFitnessPal is an excellent application that will help you in terms of structuring those meals and in order for you to know the same calories and the same nutrients that you're consuming. And for example, myself, I was consuming less calories than I thought and that I needed. So with this application, I know right now that I have that hole and I need to eat more, and how much nutrients I'm consuming and how much nutrients I need to recover. So if you like this video, please thumbs up and subscribe, and please do comments, because in this way I will try to share with you more information, and I will be very motivated. So if you like it, please thumbs up, subscribe, and I will try to talk about amazing topics and other topics. So thank you so much, and I will leave you here the word cited in order for you to find the information. I gave to you the web page, the page, the number of the page and everything. So thank you so much, guys.